The latest season of Man vs. Wild has really driven all the contestants crazy. The big shot was starving and thirsty. I actually managed to squeeze out an original filter with my bare hands. A cup of soul water, like milk tea, takes less than a second. Then he can drink it directly. Both are in the same African wilderness. Some people manage to survive by roasting scorpions. Some people, however, were forced to withdraw from the competition due to hunger and exhaustion. Just when everyone was at their most desperate. One person, however, carried back an entire black-spotted antelope. When others hunt, what they get is prey. But when he went hunting, he was met with wild elephants. On this desolate African land, at night, carnivorous beasts run rampant. Can they hold on to this hard-won feast? Welcome to like and subscribe to my channel. Update the wilderness survival videos of this season every week. It was the 5th day. Jeff spent the night alone last night. Wild animals are in groups outside the shelter. All kinds of cries kept him awake, although the shelter was made of iron sheets. But the roar of the lion was heard. Jeff still felt scared. He had no choice but to keep increasing the fire to protect himself. This morning, Jeff made a small iron sled for digging scorpions. Although there are many prey in the African wilderness, but most of them are very fierce. Jeff could only go and find some scorpions to eat. What he wants most now is to find food. Africa has 150 species of scorpions. Finding scorpions to eat is also a good way. Jeff was looking for the scorpion hole on the ground with an iron pot in his hand. Fill the hole with water to force out the scorpions. Then dig it out. He easily caught a scorpion. Jeff continued to catch scorpions in this way. Every time, there's a gain. The scorpions dug out only need to have the stinger at the tail cut off. Jeff strung the scorpions he had caught together. Bake it directly over the fire. The roasted scorpion tastes very much like chicken. This was the first time that Jeff had hunted for food. On this side of the Waz group, he arrived at the ruins early in the morning. This toilet is very intact. Waz wants to give this toilet to his teammate Tyre. Even the most beautiful woman needs to defecate. Now his shelter is the largest. I saw the gift that Waz sent. Teal felt extremely touched. Waz is the backbone of the team. He managed to get his teammates to enjoy a sumptuous fish meal. They built a safe shelter together with Tyre again. It took them 2 days to build this new shelter. It's finally going to be finished today. Teal decided to move today. The original shelter was too rudimentary. The new wire fence for all shelters is safer. Today is the day to move into the new home. They took the fire directly to the new shelter, and there is still quite a lot of firewood. This shelter is strong enough to stand firm in the African wilderness. Explore the vicinity of Waz. I'm looking for some food. He saw many pig holes here. It should be the home of the pig inside, but I don't know if the pig is at home now. An adult Yao pig weighs up to 300 pounds. They don't dig holes. Instead, it directly occupies the cave of the aardvark. The Jewish pig will enter the hole upside down. The fangs face the entrance of the cave to defend against prey. Waz guessed that the pig was not a home now. They won't go home until evening. There are 4 openings here, but there were no footprints of pigs in front of the entrance. This made him feel strange. He plans to come and check again in the evening. If this is an active cave entrance of a Jewish pig, then a fire can be used to block the hole. Then figure out a way to catch it. Steven and Elisa came to check the fishing hook, but gained nothing. Why don't they learn to catch fish with mosquito nets like Waz did? There was no catch from the fishing hook. Steven went to check the bird trap again. The bird trap didn't trigger either. It simply doesn't work. Steven plans to transform it into a catfish trap. He took a flat tray, then cover it with the bird cage. After putting the cage into the water, scorpions as bait. The catfish will be trapped once it goes in. Elisa felt that this device was okay. She has been looking forward to having the catfish meet. Steven took the cage to the water's edge. The water here is not even knee-deep. After a simple arrangement, he left. Can fish really be caught like this? Frank had been crouching under the tree, waiting for his prey. A pearl chicken came to the shore to drink water, but the distance is too far for hunting. An antelope also appeared nearby, but its vigilance is extremely high. Frank simply couldn't wait for the chance to go hunting. Now he can only hope that the pearl chicken will come closer. For Frank, game is everywhere here, but it was just beyond the range of the bow. Wild animals in Africa are highly vigilant. It's rather difficult to hunt them. The West team has also been worrying about food all the time. Teammate Miranda is so hungry that he is about to quit the competition. The team has one more mouth. Wes is under increasing pressure. They have never caught any fish. Miranda urgently needs a fish to keep going. They are now the largest group, but no food could be obtained. No matter how many people there are, it won't help. Wes thinks they have nothing but food now. There are fish in the water, but don't hook. The sun is very hot at noon. Miranda was greatly affected by hunger. A group of people were sitting on the shore, unable to think of any way to catch fish. Wes went bald just thinking about it. Just one meal is needed. They will be able to reverse the current situation. Jeff is now in a state where he is full and the whole team is not hungry. He uses tires to make shoes. Tire shoes are very suitable for the environment here. A butterfly appeared in the shelter. With a gentle pat, the butterfly dropped to the ground. This is the imperial moth. It is a very common cooked food in Africa. It can provide 3 times as much protein as beef. Jeff wants to roast this butterfly to eat. After all, protein is a luxury here. Jeff took a bite of the wing directly. I almost died on the spot. I haven't started eating the meat yet. He then became a jet fighter. This kind of butterfly is edible by the indigenous people of Africa. It doesn't mean you can eat it too. The meat in my hand lost its aroma in an instant. He still held in his hand and was reluctant to throw it away. The severe vomiting just now. He is already dehydrated. If water is not replenished, or if vomiting continues, it is very likely that Jeff will withdraw from the competition because of this. Over here with the West duo, Miranda was also starving to death. Now, she has difficulty even walking, not to mention helping with the work. All her teammates are worried about her. The doctor came to examine her. Miranda said that just now when she was fishing, it might be too hot. All of a sudden, I lost consciousness. The doctor measured her heart rate. It is speculated that it might be caused by dehydration. The doctor advised her to withdraw from the competition and go home. But Miranda doesn't want to withdraw from the competition, although the current physical condition can still continue. But if nutrients are not replenished in time, it may affect the decline of body organs. She insisted on going on. The doctor can only keep track of her health. Waz took his bow and arrow and went to wait at the entrance of the Juju cave. He saw many prey here. I could eat until I was full if I hunted just anyone. But these prey are very vigilant. Waz simply couldn't get close to them. He saw several antelopes in the distance, but it's all too far away. It's simply impossible to hunt. Teal is responsible for fetching water and foraging. Mopani leaves are everywhere here. She wants to collect a full plate of new leaves. In this barren wilderness, if no animals can be hunted, I can only sustain my life by being a vegetarian. The protein content in the leaves of the Mopani tree is very high, but its content of fatty acids is very high. It can provide energy and regulate the body's immune response. Teal hasn't eaten for 4 consecutive days, although these leaves are not tasty, but it's already very happy to have something to eat. A little past 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Frank had just returned to the shelter. Although my hands are too busy, but it's no different from being empty. The teammates didn't get any food. It seems there is a bit of disappointment. Only Frank was awkwardly recounting the hunting process. The teammates were simply not in the mood to listen. Frank said he was very close to hunting his prey. Steven knew he was bragging. This little bit might be a long way off. Elisa always heard Frank make this excuse every time. I'm already tired of hearing it. But this is Africa. It's not Frank's fault for not hunting for food. You can blame a lazy person, but one can't blame a nobody. Wes and Kellyvan have been trying to find ways to hunt. They urgently need to get food to save their teammates. I came to the puddle again to catch fish. The fish were playing in the water, but they were afraid of crocodiles and dared not catch them. So they planned to make a trap to catch fish. Why don't they use bows and arrows to hunt traps? Wes is very eager to catch fish now, so he was waiting here with a bow and arrow in hand. I can say he's bad, but it cannot be said that he doesn't work hard. Kelly is also full of energy now. He and Wes split up to go hunting. A flock of pearl chickens happened to pass by. I never expected that he would actually run after me with a stone in hand like this. Seeing this moment, my brain shrank instantly. His grandma has only 1 leg. I really doubt that Kellyvan has no brain in his mind. There's something going on with Wes, too. A deer came to the water source to drink water. He drew his bow and shot directly, but it was also in vain. In Africa, every prey has been chased, so they are very vigilant. Kellywin also agrees with this statement. He thinks hunting in Africa is too difficult. Hearing him say so, the lice in my bed burst out laughing. Isn't the hunting method of picking up a stone and chasing it directly quite simple? Why did Kellywin say it was difficult? Since there is no food to hunt, then we can only go and catch fish. But there's a crocodile in the water. Kellyvan came to the ruins. He collected a lot of iron sheets. It is planned to use these iron sheets to build a fishing trap. The gap is narrowed to prevent crocodiles from entering. In this way, they can go into the water to catch fish. Let's look forward to them having a good harvest. Teal is boiling leaves in the shelter. This is their dinner today. Waz just returned to the shelter. He tasted these Mopani leaves immediately, although it has a slightly bitter taste. But they are very hungry now. What does this bit of bitterness matter? The nutrients contained in these leaves. It can help them improve their physical condition. When there is no meat to eat, it's quite good to cook these leaves to eat. What really liked Teal's approach? At the very least, she didn't choose to give up and just lie flat. Teal even caught scorpions to eat. Sure enough, behind every successful man, there is a smart woman. Kellywin carried the tin sheet back. There are many thorns on the road. He was pricked in the flesh, and it hurt. The reason why Kellyvan failed, because the girls and team are just giving up. Miranda has been crying because of hunger, and Kelly just watched Miranda crying. My teammates are almost starving to death. They would rather sit there with their teammates and starve to deah. In order to go to find some food for her to eat. The doctor was waiting for her to withdraw for the competition all the time. He would come to check on her every hour. Miranda felt that her health was getting worse and worse. It seems that I'm going to withdraw from the competition. It is impossible to replenish food. All the teammates are here preparing for the funeral. Ultimately, the program team issued a mandatory requirement to Miranda. Miranda officially withdrew from the competition. Her teammates saw her off one by one. On the contrary, she thought her teammates were very nice. I don't know if it's good or not. Anyway, I knew they had been watching Miranda get hungry and withdraw from the competition all along. It's the 7th day. Frank wandered around the car cemetery aimlessly. He wants to find something here that breaks his pattern. He realized that hunting was no good, because prey can smell his scent from just a few dozen meters away. So he wanted to find a magical artifact here for hunting. It would be best if a shotgun could be found. In fact, he doesn't know what he is looking for either. Anyway, it's just aimlessly wandering around here. See if these discarded things can give him some inspiration. For example, something like this. Frank thought it could be used for hunting. This is a car chimney exhaust device. After Frank returned to the shelter, light a nest and put it in. It can emit smoke. This device can mask his smell. Perhaps it can confuse animals. Frank once again shouldered his bow and arrow and went hunting. Before setting off, I told my teammate that I would wait for him to come back and have some meat tonight. Elisa is also praying for him. Hope he can succeed in the hunt. Frank picked up several pieces of animal feces. These feces can be burned in a box. Let the scent in the air mask his masculinity. Sometimes being too manly is not a good thing for a man. Jeff returned to the previous shelter location. He inspected the fish basket that Amboa had placed earlier, but gained nothing. He really wants to have something to eat. There are bows and arrows and iron barrels left in the shelter. Eat more than 10 scorpions every day, then he can sustain his life. But if one wants to live a better life, Jeff had to try hunting, survive in the African wilderness. Water sources are also very important. Jeff thinks boiling water takes a lot of time. He plans to make a filtering system. This way, the time spent boiling water can be saved. This rusty iron bucket is the filter. He spread a layer of leaves under the iron bucket, then spread another layer of sand. The filtration system also cannot do without charcoal. Jeff ground the charcoal into powder, then spread it on the sand. In principle, dirty water can become clear through multiple layers of filtration. Jeff filled the water with a glass of water. Pour into the filter to get water. He actually drank it directly. The taste is a bit like soil. Does he really believe in this filter so much? Let time verify it. Wes and Kellyvin came to the shore to set up fishing traps. Kellyvin plans to enclose a water area with things. Fix the iron sheet with wooden boards and make a narrow opening. The catfish will be lured in. After making a good plan, then they began to work. There are many bubbles in the water. Wes believes that there is a high possibility of crocodiles underwater. To ensure that he had not surrounded the crocodile, they shook the water with iron sheets. Slowly walk out of safe zone. Not afraid of starving to death. I'm actually afraid of a crocodile. They soon put this fishing plan into practice. Wes felt very good looking at this trap. The fenced area allows you to catch fish to your heart's content. Wait one night to see if there are any fish coming in. Kelly found many small fish in the nearby stream. These small fish can be used as bait. It can also be used as food. But these little fish are all too sensitive. It simply can't be grasped by hand. Kelly decided to think of other ways. At the same time, they came to Frank's side. He was exposed to cow dung for several hours. Finally, a large prey appeared. Frank immediately got into hunting mode. He is waiting for his prey to approach. Seize the right moment and draw the bow to shoot directly. This time he successfully hit the prey in the chest. He was extremely excited when he hit the prey for the first time. Now all we need to do is wait for the gift to bleed too much and fall to the ground. Time passed minute by minute. Frank followed the bloodstains in search of prey. This is the most fundamental tracking skill for hunters. Frank looked at the bloodstains on the ground to judge the direction in which the injured prey had left. The footprints on the ground are also clearly visible. If it rains heavily at this time, the chance of finding prey is almost zero. The rain will wash away bloodstains and footprints. Fortunately, this is Africa. The chance of rain is very low. Frank soon found the bow and arrow that had hit the prey, but the arrow was not there. Frank guessed that it must have hit the antelope's lungs, but the prey can still travel a long distance by relying on the other lung. If that's really the case, it's a bit difficult to find prey. Frank continued to follow the footprints of his prey. There are many carnivorous beasts in Africa. If they find the injured antelope first. So Frank eventually returned empty-handed. Then can Frank find the injured prey? Let's keep reading. Waz is the most enjoyable right now, alone with a sexy teammate. But he's also in urgent need of finding food. He judged the route the animals had taken, set up a hunting spot at the location of a dead tree. Let's not talk about whether animals can be hunted at this point for now. Isn't he afraid of being burned to death by the sun? After Wes and Kellyvin came back from setting the trap, I saw Kelly lying in the shelter. Miranda has just left. It was her turn to lie down. Wes also thoughtfully covered her with fur. Anyone who has watched my first 2 videos knows. After Kelly joined the team, Miranda then began to give up. Now Miranda is gone. Kelly has started lying flat again. In fact, it's not a problem at all. It's just waiting to be taken away. Kelly was in Ambo's team before. He is also a soy sauce player. After joining the new team with a thick skin, I worked for a few days. Now, she is the only woman in the team. I stopped acting and just gave up. Frank has been tracking the injured prey. It's a little past 1 p.m. now. If the blood stain dries up, it will turn black. In this way, valuable tracking traces will be lost. Even though it's steaming hot right now, Frank also had to hurry up and look for his prey. The dead branches here are all thorns. He was pricked so hard that he was crying out. I searched continuously for over an hour. He walked on, feeling lost. I have no idea at all how far I have come. But finally he saw hope. The injured prey lay on the ground. Frank's more than an hour was not in vain. He successfully found the antelope that had been hit. The arrow still remained on the antelope's body. Frank was extremely excited at this moment. With this antelope, there's hope of survival. He finally proved that he could do it. His teammates will no longer look down upon him. The sun is about to set now. Frank has to hurry back to the shelter. Carry this antelope. All of a sudden, I felt all my fatigue vanish. Even if he walks for another 10 hours, he won't be afraid. Time flies very fast. It has been 4 hours since the tracking of the prey began. The average person would be exhausted after walking for 4 hours. Not to mention that he was walking in the hot Africa, carrying prey, weighing dozens of pounds. It was entirely his willpower that led him out of the encirclement. This antelope is enough for them to lie flat for 10 days. Frank finally returned to the shelter. The teammates were incredulous when they saw it. They never expected that their teammates could really bring back protein. Tonight, Elisa belongs to Frank. He was recognized by his teammates. At this moment, he was like a hero saving the team. Elisa couldn't wait to taste the grilled meat. Frank's success. It has made a good start for all the teams this season. Prove that they are capable of surviving in this wilderness. From now on, Steven also accepted the curly hair before him. Elisa, of course, needs no introduction. Tonight, Frank is her king. Anyone who knows a little about things should know how to do it. They looked at the black-spotted antelope on the ground. I knew I would have a big bowel movement after eating. Dozens of pounds of meat were lying on the ground. Why haven't they taken action yet? Alicia has never hunted animals. She carried the antelope directly to experience it. This feeling is truly unprecedented. So this is what it feels like after a successful hunt. They began to deal with the antelopes under the shade of the trees. Although dozens of pounds of meat can't be consumed for 30 days, but it's enough to keep them going for half a month. They used to always think that this place was the end of the world. But now, there's a black-spotted antelope to reward itself. It seems that it's not so terrifying here. Frank and Alicia are dealing with the impalas. Steven is setting up a barbecue grill in the shelter. The meat cooked on this rusty iron mesh is the most authentic. He brought in another tray. Satisfy any barbecue style of yours. This rubber board can be used to cut meat. On the first day, they plan to eat animal offal first, dry the remaining meat, and store it for later consumption. This antelope must not be wasted at all. The camera turns to Waz. He had been waiting for his prey under the scorching sun all along. 2 oryx came near him. This is a very good hunting opportunity. Waz drew his bow and shot directly. The bow and arrow flew 300 meters above the prey's head. The man, whose hair was not on his head, said he was just a little short of hitting the target. For a moment, I didn't know how to explain his grandma's leg. Jeff was also waiting for his prey. He also really wants to hunt an antelope to eat. Frank and Watts both waited for the impala, but Jeff waited for an elephant instead. Sometimes the differences between people are really huge. Jeff saw this elephant. I really have the heart to die. If Jeff hunts this elephant, I guess the entire production team will have to go to prison. A wild elephant is drinking water right in front of us. Jeff sat here watching as if nothing had happened. He also walked behind a shelter to watch closely. This guy is really not afraid of death. The elephant was only about 10 meters away from him. Fortunately, it just finished drinking water and left. It's worth watching the elephant fight so closely. It's still more exciting than spending a few hundred yuan to go to the zoo. Freshly cut black antelope meat. He should make good use of every part. Every piece of meat and internal organ is precious food. Frank has already started grilling the meat. Tonight is destined to be a wild barbecue party. The aroma of grilled meat filled the entire African wilderness. Elisa can't wait to eat the meat. 3 people were enjoying a buffet barbecue in front of the fire. I've been hungry for so long. Finally, I can have a bite of meat. The grilled meat is all covered with rust. They still ate very well. Over here with the West duo, Kelly was recording her life with a camera at night. She said she had gained nothing today. Wes and Kelly Van have been fighting all day. I still have to listen to this soy sauce player teasing. Every night, they heard the roar of lions. Although the shelter is already safe enough, but they all felt scared after hearing the cry. It's the 8th day. Wes and the others were going out early in the morning to check the fishing traps. Kelly still chose to stay at the camp and lie flat. She really hopes that her teammates can bring back protein. When you get tired from lying down, collect some firewood nearby and boil water to drink. Wes and Kelly then came to the shore. They are here inspecting fishing traps. Keep poking in the water with a wooden stick. But it seems that there was no gain at all. Kelly's job is to collect firewood. This job is physically demanding for her. These dozens of pounds of firewood. It almost wore her out. Work for 10 minutes and rest for the whole day. What's worse, my teammates didn't catch any fish. What should we do next? They don't know how to hold on until the 35th day. Kelly watched them return empty-handed. My face turned black in an instant, perhaps in her heart. Wes and Kelly Van are just two bad teammates, aren't they? She felt she had no future with such a teammate. So Kelly directly announced her withdrawal from the challenge. When leaving, one must put on a deep affection. I've seen such scenes many times. It's really not suitable to stay here if you can't hunt for food. Quitting early might be a wise choice. Wes and his team gradually weakened from being the largest in number. They just keep making fun of how difficult it is here, knowing there were fish in the puddle, but still catching them. In their eyes, crocodiles are just fear, rather than delicious grilled meat. The weak are not fit to survive here. No food was obtained. Wes and Kelly Van will both withdraw from the competition sooner or later. It makes no sense for them to persist like this. Waz and the others are not doing well now either. When Teal woke up early in the morning, he said that he had heard the calls of the impalas last night. She wants to hunt the oryx. Giant footprints appeared near the shelter. Just how big is this carnivorous predator? And it is very close to their shelter. This is indeed very dangerous. In fact, they can wait for passing prey in the shelter at night. What I'm more curious about is why they don't continue to catch fish. Before, I caught a lot of fish in the puddles with fishing nets. Why don't you go to the puddle to catch fish now? Teal was well aware that predators were everywhere here, but most of them show up near the shelter at night. As long as there is a safe shelter, these carnivores need not worry too much at all. Today, they continue to return to the ruins in search of supplies. They want to continue reinforcing the shelter. There are many boundary iron lines here. If it can be well utilized, that will surely add a new safety fence to the shelter. Waz was afraid that lions would sneak into the shelter at night, so he collected a lot of iron sheets. Seal up every gap in the shelter. Waz and Teal have devoted a lot of energy to this shelter. The reason for building such a solid shelter, it's all because of their inner fear of wild beasts. When Teal was working, I accidentally got my eye. There's a lot of rust on the iron sheet. If it really gets into the eyes, it's best to deal with it as soon as possible. If it develops to be like Ombois, it was too late to regret. Waz asked her to call a doctor over to clean it up, but Teal seemed to be fine. There are only 2 people in the Watts group. It would be a pity if Teal withdrew from the competition because of this. Steven and his team are on vacation here. There's a lot of meat in their shelter. Frank cut the meat into strips. They're all hung on the branches to dry. Dried meat can be stored for a long time, although they have a lot of meat. But Steven thinks one shouldn't eat and drink extravagantly. After all, there's still a long time until 35 days. They stewed a pot of meat for breakfast. Everyone was drooling at the sight of the stewed meat. Frank said frankly that he had a wonderful night last night. Elisa gave it to him last night, but considering that everyone's traffic is not enough. So I deleted it for everyone after I finished reading. Who could have imagined in the barren wilderness of Africa, they can enjoy a sumptuous pot of stewed meat? It feels so good to eat meat in big mouthfuls. Everyone enjoyed eating very much. They couldn't stop eating the stewed meat piece by piece. The Steven duo is currently the strongest. It is also the team most likely to persist until the 35th day. They feasted heartily in the shelter. It seems that they have completely forgotten that this is the African wilderness. Have the soup after eating the stewed meat. This feeling of being full is really refreshing. Everyone's physical strength returned to what it was when they first arrived. You have to finish every mouthful of soup residue. The shelter of the Waz group was also smoking, but they had no food to eat. Till's eyes had been feeling uncomfortable all along. Calling a doctor doesn't cost any money. Why didn't she call the doctor over to clean it up? Corneal abrasions can cause dizziness. In severe cases, it may cause headaches. Rust entering the eyes may leave permanent corneal damage. It eventually leads to vision loss. But Teal seemed not to be aware of this problem. She still naively believed that she would get better in a few days. Hope her wish comes true. Waz is very worried about Till's situation now. He also hopes that things won't get worse. In the evening, the roar of the lion woke Steven up. His grandma is a jerk. He turned out to be a literary young man at night. She also put on earrings. Frank and Elisa were not wearing any clothes. They knocked on the tin sheets to scare the lions away. This side of the Watts group, Teal felt his eyes getting worse at night. The pain began, and I couldn't open my eyes. This girl probably won't hold on for long. It's the 11th day. Jeff planned to go hunting early in the morning. He came to the ruins to collect animal models. Take it back to the shelter to practice hunting. Even at such a close distance, he can still miss the shot. Jeff is constantly practicing shooting. gradually becoming more and more proficient. After getting up, Teal felt his heart rate beating very fast. My eyes are getting worse and worse. The doctor came early in the morning to examine Tyre's eyes. She told the doctor that her eyes were hurting more and more. I can't even open my eyes today. Look at her like this. I might have to withdraw from the competition again. After the doctor's examination, it was found that the area around the sclera was very red. Teal's eye area was severely inflamed. The doctor is worried that it will deteriorate further, so immediately clean her eyes with antibiotic solution. Waz realized the seriousness of the matter. So can Teal get through this next? Look forward to the update of the next video episode. Welcome to like and subscribe to my channel. The latest content of this season's PUBG is updated weekly.